There's something funny about being in a team in the Danganronpa Hunger Games. You could both make it far to increase your chances, or your partner could go out nearly immediately. But when in a team, you still have the merit to say, I'll win it for the both of us. Leave it all to me. We've seen stories where one teammate has died nearly first, if not first, and their partner has gone on to the end, and we've seen districts and teams essentially win together. And everything in between in the 15th season of Tag Team Action and the 17th season overall of the Danganronpa Hunger Games. And so knowing as long as the heart of one of your partners still beats, your chances are never over. One has to wonder whose chances tonight will turn into victory for the future, will turn into gold around the shoulders, and turn into title holders of the Danganronpa Hunger Games Tag Team Championships. Hot Docs. Reading Rainbow. Pimps Mafia. Makoto. Loaded Dice. Disappearing Act. Little Demons. GameStop. Large and in charge. I'll be your shield. Laser focused. Fantastic gymnastics. The Danganronpa Hunger Games Tag Team Champions, Wattpad. And the Tag Team Agents of Chaos, Ghost Zone. Whose chances tonight have marked them for success. It is a time, it is finally the end of Tag Team Action. Tooling Dave, Bravo Dave, Tofka. Anomaly, the Anomalakaris, I am the United States Aviator. This is the finale of Tag Team Action of the Danganronpa Hunger Games. We got 28 competitors here, 24 plus the extra 4, yep. 28 competitors, all got here through winning or, ghosting their way here into the finale. So, without further ado, I think it's time we just start talking about who's made it thus far. You already saw it in the intro, so let's give a quick rundown right here one more time, because so many of these teams actually held the title this season, starting with the ones who won it at the start of the season. Hot Docs, Taichi and Tae for Dottore, Reading Rainbow for Yuma, Hutao and Hiro, Pimps Mafia, Kazuichi and Fuyuhiko for Peko. And they had a little bit of a turbulent season themselves, the three of them, especially in one single episode. Makoto and Maskoto for Queen Team Makoto. Disappearing Act, we have Usami and Lenny for a disappearing red hair, the mage, Himiko. Y'all know what we're talking about. It's like she disappeared from my mind. It's like she's disappeared in general. Where is Himiko? Loaded Dice, we have Halara and we have Kokichi. For Celeste, Little Demons, we have Monica and Paimon. For Lil Klee, they want to do it without Klee today because Klee, let's be real, has gone crazy in Tag Team Action. GameStop has Chiaki, Silverworld for Gaming. Large and in charge for Togami, they got Big Junko and they got Boss. I'll Be Your Shield has Kizakura and Dedu for freaking Sayaka. Laser Focused has Tinko and Kole. For Natsumi, Fantastic Gymnastics, Akane, and if she has a congregation, this episode could just be over. with Mizuki for Violet from Persona 5. Wattpad, our champions, have Toko and Yuri both in here, right now, holding the fort down for Mew, and Ghost Zone for Corey and Vivia, holding the fort down for Amber. The Agents of Chaos. And Corey had a fantastic game, first of all, getting here. And that tag team last stand was out, I think, one of the first people just to kind of wander off, and he wandered back and just won the game, which is kind of crazy. So let me know your picks, live chat, comments, and while you're here, make sure to hit that like button. I'm gonna actually start reminding you to do that. Because it does boost engagement. So yeah, get your like button on, get your like on real quick. That being said, let's make some picks, first, second, and third. Tonight, also though, is the 2-year anniversary of Fracture. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show. For right now though, I'm gonna make my picks and we're gonna get this show on the road. We don't wanna dilly and we don't wanna dally too much because we got a big old show tonight. Give me for first place, I think it's gonna be Kokichi. You never bet against that man. For second, I'm gonna take the Ghost Zone. I think that they're going to start as the Agents of Chaos and then they're gonna end as the champions. And speaking of that, I'm gonna take the Hot Dogs for third. I think they're going to have started as champions and now end as champions. And I think that's all of the things that I have to do. So let's get this party started. And to do that, we must. It's my clog slipper from the Netherlands. Never like been to the Netherlands, but I stopped at the Netherlands as a layover, on my flight to Spain. Love these, they are very comfortable clog slippers. It's our new notepad. We've gone from pink to baby blue, baby. You love to see it. And I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do it, aren't I? I hadn't had a bit prepared yet. I was like, I'm gonna, whatever happens, I'm just gonna improv it. At the top of this, it has a recycled symbol. And inside that recycled symbol, it says 100%. So this is a 100% recycled notepad. However, I think that means that I gotta resimulate 100 times. Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 20. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. So, I'm unsure if I skipped 40 or not. But just in case, we'll resimulate 110 times or 100 times. You guys will know the truth. In the heat of the moment, I was like, So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Either 100 or 110. One has to wonder, during that 100 timeline, or I guess the previous 10 timeline, who knows what could have happened. That being said, it's Hot Dogs, it's Reading Rainbow, it's Pimp's Mafia, it's Makoto Disappearing Act, Loaded Dice, Little Demons, GameStop, Large and in Charge, I'll Be Your Shield, Laser Focus, Fantastic Gymnastics, the Tag Team Champions, Toko and Yuri, Wattpad, and the Agents of Chaos, Corey and Vivia. Tag team titles on the line, and the finale is now as we proceed. And as the tribute stand on their podiums, the horns, they don't sound, and if you would humanly, if possible, everybody all together, one more good time. Sound the horns. Featuring our new Danganronpa Hunger Games World Pancake Champion, it is Rantaro. And you know the thing that I kind of realized about the World Pancake Championship? I think it might be the only title that doesn't actually have Danganronpa Hunger Games on it. So maybe it's just the channel's World Pancake Championship. In which case, we might do some fun things with that. That being said, we'll proceed. As Mizuki immediately throws a knife into Chiaki said, saying, "Get out of here." Paimon, Halara, and Hiro get into a fight. Hiro triumphantly kills them both. Goodness gracious. Boss grabs as many weapons as humanly possible. Kazuichi watches with envious Hutao and Kizakura kiss before leaving the cornucopia. Interesting. Usami enters the arena via skydiving. Fuiko investigates with Dedu, but secretly kills Kori during the investigation. Taichi receives a vision of him dying brutally at the hands of Makoto and Akane. As he sees them approaching, he uses his foresight to avoid dying. Silver Wolf runs away from the cornucopia. Yuri sees a landmine stashed away in the supply. She tries to avoid it, but Tenko comes in charging and tackles her into the mine, blowing them both up. Vivia receives a titan from the inside of the cornucopia. Tai rips a mace out of Kokichi's hands. Monica snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Kole receives a vision of her also dying brutally at the hands of Maskoto and Big Junko, but she uses foresight, avoids dying. Linny runs away from the cornucopia, as does Toko, as she gets on the Astral Express and leaves the game, starting her journey. Come with me, take the journey. I think both of the champions are gone. I guess in the bloodbath already, it is a new champ alert. One day to celebrate, I'll be waiting. Alright, let's go on. It is day one as Monica fights a Yeti atop a Goldforge mountain. Unfortunately, they don't just lose their maul to shreds. Rest in peace to Monica. Fuiko puts on a pair of stutter shades and then another pair right afterwards, increasing his aesthetic level tenfold, making Kokichi and Big Junko envious. Hiro bashes the TV head. Based. Kazuichi can't wait to kill Sayaka this game. She's not in this game, but she can kill her partners and kill her chances of becoming tag team champion. Hutao sets up an ice cream shack. Nobody comes. Oh, dang. Oh, I would go to Hutao's ice cream shack. Tai, Boss, and Makoto join the Adventurers Guild and are assigned roles based on their stats. Tai is the Righteous Knight, Boss the Wizened Wizard, and Makoto is a janitor. Kole plants flowers around Silverwolf's grave. Silverwolf screams behind her, "Hello, I'm still alive." Kole simply says, "For now." Taichi's unknown sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends. Whose game is it? Lin Nei's game, yeah, which is kind of hilarious considering who his girlfriend is in Genshin Nuzlocke lore. Yeah. Listen here, Kizakura does not like Vivia. He's gonna bark at him now. Akane, Maskoto, Mizuki, and Dedu make up the alpha team. Akane is the confident yet dorky leader. Maskoto is the explosive expert who doesn't think before he speaks. Dedu is the transportation expert who thinks he knows better. And Mizuki is the sharpshooter who thinks that sarcasm mode is a personality trait. Part of me feels like this last one fits very well with this age Mizuki. Usami finds, honestly, both... Even the time gap between the first and the second game is still about the same. Usami finds the remains of a Viking ship, and that is 8. Gone. About a third of the competition, give or take about 2. And that brings us to the saddest of all moments, the first one of the episode 4. Chiaki, Paimon, Halara, Kori, Yuri, Tenko, Toko, and Monica. So focus on me for a second. Also remember, the top 6, that's where you need to be. That's where you want to be. If you want to go on to that premiere. Guarantee yourself another title shot. Right now, the champions will not be there. Because they got slammed in the bloodbath. So rest in peace to them. It sucks to see both tag team champions out in the bloodbath. It happens. Not often, but it does happen. A lot of teams still completely in. In fact, I think there's only 2 teams completely out, and that is Wattpad and it is Little Demons. Poor Paimon, she's even had like a good week. Paimon got a new VA, and everybody's been like, you know what? I'm vibing with this. Anywho, let's scroll down. More people have been acknowledging Paimon than ever. So chat, if you want to, even though she's gone, put the ones up, baby, and acknowledge her. Alright, we'll proceed for real. And as night 1 begins, Taichi puts his trust in Linny and allows himself to fall backwards. Linny catches him. Taichi says to Linny that he trusts him with his life. Kizakura submits an application to join the squad. Dedu helps him mail it to me. Maybe, Kizakura, maybe. Maybe next season we'll, like, take everyone who submits an application and it doesn't get ripped up, we'll put them all in a game and one person will join the squad. Boss has a dream in which Kole is plotting to kill her. Big Junko and Hu Tao tell each other their greatest fears in order to grow each other's trust. Silverwolf confesses her love for Maskoto. Maskoto lovingly embraces her, accepting the confession. Usami gets a hold of my soundboard and plays Dire Dire Docs, wants things to get violent. But not as violent as playing Megalovania. Fair enough. As Vivia, Mizuki, and Akane track down and kill Fuyuhiko. Hiro sees a sleeping Makoto laying on the ground. He raises his hand, waves it in front of his face before dusting off his shoulder, falling and punching Makoto straight in the face. Tai prepares Seesaw homicide. It works, and she kills Fuyuhiko, and just like that, the Pimp's Mafia is out. Kokichi is gonna need a lot of therapy after this Hunger Games. And day 2 begins with Usami putting all of her faith into Atua. Hu Tao, Kokichi, and Vivia hold an intervention for my pancake addiction. I didn't show up because these 3 jokers probably don't really think that I have an addiction, and I don't. So they're right. Linny steps on a Lego brick wall barefoot and perishes. Hiro becomes spherical. Spherical! Kolei's unknown sponsors, Sayaka. Avi's not gonna like that. Akane dies from thirst. Boss throws a pebble in anger. In a strange series of events, it causes a small landslide, killing Maskoto, Mizuki, and Taichi. Big Junko also becomes spherical. Spherical! Name a more iconic trio than Silver Wolf, Makoto, and Taie. I'll wait. Kizakura goes on a serial balloon popping spree, and Dedu wakes up dead. This actually turned out to be, I think, maybe just as bloody, technically, as the bloodbath. Yeah, it was exactly 8. That's kind of crazy. I was like, it feels like we got close to 8 this time, and lo and behold, it is another 8. Which is honestly a little bit shocking after this. Saddest of all moments, 4. Fuyuhiko, Kazuichi, Linny, Akane, Maskoto, Mizuki, Taichi, Dedu. Let's see everybody's statuses. So now we have, what, 16? Right? No, we have 12. We lost, oh, we did lose 16, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we lost 16, that's crazy. Well, now I get to feel like we need to pay attention. There's only 12 people left. Hot Dogs still have Tai. Reading Rainbow's completely in. They're not the only team, but they are the next to only team, I believe. Pimp's Mafia, they out of here. Team Makoto has Makoto. Disappearing Act, they got Usami. Loaded Dice, they got Kokichi. Little Demons, they out of here. GameStop has Silver Wolf. Large and in Charge, they're both in. I'll Be Your Shield has Kizakura. Laser Focus has Kole. Fantastic Gymnastics, they out of here. Wattpad, they out of here. Ghost Zone still have Vivia. Most teams still have somebody. I believe 4 teams are now completely out, being the Pimp's Mafia, Little Demons, Fantastic Gymnastics, and Wattpad. But it's all about top 6 teams. So we're gonna need to lose even more folks before we get on that deciding factor. So, without further ado, let's get in there! Yeah! But that being said, I'd like to point out we are very well within feast territory. I think we'll probably still get a day before we get the feast, but we will see. As night 2 begins, Vivia challenges Hu Tao and Usami to an anything goes pancake eating competition, and it looks like it's time. Oh, this pin is like it. There we go. You guys ever get a pin and like sometimes the little screw on the pin is like loosen a little bit if you feel it when you write? Not sure how that happens, but you know, it sure happened. Usami. World Pancake Championship. There we go. And so the list continues. Rantaro is probably watching. Silverwolf walks onto the campsite of Makoto, and Kizakura throws a oh my gosh, the disembodied head of Kokichi at their feet is a warning of things to come? Oh my, Silverwolf! Boss just ties split personality given form. Oh, they are 2 baddies. That was kind of out of pocket, but I don't disagree in the slightest. It is the truth. Hiro and Kole sing some show tunes together. Big Junko attempts to find all the lore on Slugma-Face. Do we get the feast? We do get the feast now. And the cornucopia is replenished with food, weapon, and memoirs from the tribute's families as a Big Junko kills Taie with a sickle. Silver Wolf accidentally steps on a landmine. Makoto gathers as much food as he can into a bag before fleeing. Hiro decides not to attend the feast. Kizakura kills Vivia with his own weapon. Boss sets on an explosive, killing Usami. Kole decides not to go, and neither does Hu Tao. Now we're starting to see this trickle effect. Most people are gone. I think we're down to 6, if I'm not mistaken. We were down to 7, but I'll tell you what, we are still at 7, actually, as Boss, Cast of the Despair Seasons are supposing dramatically. Makoto, Hiro, and Big Junko hold an intervention for my pancake addiction. I show up, but I'm not going to listen to what they say, because look, Makoto, he's out here like, I hope that you get rid of your pancake addiction, which doesn't exist. Hiro said, yes, in my future, I see that you have a pancake addiction. Only 30% chance that that's true. And Big Junko ain't Junko, so I know she ain't no saint. Hutao throws some sand in the eyes of Kole, causing her to go temporarily blind for the rest of the game, and Kizakura wants to be a stepping stone for everyone else. And because Hutao and Hiro are both in, I think the remaining teams are a number 6, and I think that's going to be everybody who we need for our top 6 teams. That being said, it's the last saddest of all moments of the episode 4. Kokichi, Taie, Silver Wolf, Vivia, Usami. Let's do it. We'll see everybody's statuses. Not one more time, because it'll probably be more than one more time. That is indeed Reading Rainbow, Team Makoto, Large and In Charge are both in too? Oh my gosh, that's gonna be, hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams instead. Who was the last person out? Usami, so she held on for Linny and Himiko. They will get one more shot at the titles. Dang, just narrowly, just barely. But those will be your top 6 teams, and this is now time for you to make some new picks. If your picks were doing terrible, dreadful, or downright awful, how about you make some SGPs, some saving grace picks. Let me talk to you. We have Reading Rainbow, never held the titles before. We have Hutao and we have Hiro. They're holding on for Yuma. Can they all walk out as tag team champions? Team Makoto, I believe, are 2-time tag team champions. Can they make it a third? They didn't hold them this season, but they could hold them at the end of the season, so we'll see. They've won a finale before. Will they win this one as well? Did they win last year's finale? Or last season's finale, rather? Who knows? Large and In Charge. They held the tag team titles this season, and so did I'll Be Your Shield. So they would also be winning the titles back that they won earlier this season. In fact, I think those 2 teams were co-champions. In fact, they were. Laser Focused has Tinko, Kole, and Natsumi. Kole holding on for them. That team did not hold gold, but they could hold gold tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, make your saving grace picks. I'm going to make mine as well right here, right now. So let's do it. I think, as I massage my big boy brain, it is going to be a 2v2 at the end of this. I think it's going to be Reading Rainbow and Large and In Charge. They're both going to be fully in the final 4. So I'm going to say Reading Rainbow takes this and Large and In Charge just misses it. I'm going to say Hutao wins, Boss comes in second. For third place, though, I'm going to give it to Laser Focused. That's just how I believe it's going to go in terms of teams. In terms of actual positions, I think it's going to be Hutao, Boss, Big Junko. I think they're going to get rid of Hiro, but Hutao is going to take a look in a book, and it's going to be a Reading Rainbow. She'll be that butterfly in the sky. She can go twice as high. That is what I'm thinking, but you make your picks as you make them in the live chat, make them in the comments, or just, you know, make them in your mind. But if you're making them in your mind, use that mind to hit that like button. I'm going to remind you again, because if you didn't earlier, this is your second chance, and if you missed it out this second time, and you've watched all the way this far, and you still haven't liked the... Bruh. I don't know what you're talking about if you haven't done that. That's crazy. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter specifically to you in the US Aviator Reddit. It's time to actually go on. We do have 7 people, so we do get to hear a little bit of an earworm. 7 competitors. 5 teams. Reading Rainbow. Team Makoto. Large and In Charge. I'll Be Your Shield. And Laser Focused. The Danganronpa Hunger Games Tag Team Championships are on the line. Season 17 is on the line, and everybody's going strong. They're holding out their hopes. They have the same pulse, the same determination to win those titles, and perhaps even the same fate as a samurai woman. Are you ready? Well, you better be, because it is time. We'll proceed And we do see, Boss steals Kolei's first kiss. Big Junko shouts from afar, "Is that a JoJo reference? Hu Tao is bleeding out." But thankfully, she receives fresh blood from an unknown sponsor. Hiro finally finishes his novel, but loses in the night. Turns out Kizakura stole it for the royalties, you fiend. And Makoto lets all the dogs out. Who? He did it. It was he who did it. We proceed once again. Nobody died, but this is, death. Oh man, you remember the 4 that I said were going to be involved in the final 4? 3 of them won't be because Boss lets off explosive, killing 3 of them. Big Junko, Hu Tao, and Hiro. My gosh. Kizakura sets up an ice cream stand. Makoto joins as Kizakura's faithful assistant, and Kolei joins the Mistletoe Warriors, a group of that's waging war against Mistletoe during any other month besides December. We are now down to Boss, Kizakura, Makoto, and Kolei. Goodness gracious. 3 gone, Reading Rainbow eviscerated, and a terrible turnabout for Big Junko, Hu Tao, Hiro. Shall we go on? I mean, I think we must. We'll see everybody's statuses one more again. We are down to Makoto for Team Makoto. Large and in charge has Boss, I'll Be Your Shield, Kizakura, and Laser Focus, the one team that is here who have not won the titles. Everyone else, Large and in charge won the season. I'll Be Your Shield won them this season. Granted, they were co-champions, and Team Makoto has won those titles, I believe, 2 times. And right now, because we're in a Final 4 situation, it's Makoto, it's Boss, it's Kizakura, and it's Kolei, and they're all kind of what we like to call, in championship action, a golden crisis of fate. Well, alrighty then. I think let's get this party started. Let's see how it all plays out as we proceed. It is Kolei sneaking into the back room of Yoko's items and misfortunes, but it only gets seen by Kizakura, an employee of the store, who locks the door behind her. Makoto is ready, or rather getting ready for AV Mania. I think we're all starting to get ready for AV Mania as Kotoko and Kotoka introduce Boss to their long-lost twin Kokoto. We proceed yet again as a frustrated Boss tells Makoto to chill out. Kolei starts hanging a mistletoe in the arena, but Kizakura swoops in, snaps her arm, and burns that mistletoe. We're still down to your final 4. No deaths. Oh! There is a death this time, and it is. Well, this is a surprise. After opening a strange device on their phones, or a strange app on their devices, rather, the tributes are transported to the metaverse. Kolei is surrounded by shadows and is unable to survive. Kizakura steals various valuables from the palace, and Boss drives around in a car collecting flowers, passes by Makoto. Boss waves and says, "Good job!" Boom, boom. And that is, Kolei gone. And it's just Kolei. In fact, zoom in right now. Look through the horizon, not a stormy weather's caught you cold. Kolei, I know that you expected to survive this, but I believe it was a surprise for you, and you never saw it coming. We'll see everybody's statuses. This was a last surprise, and it brings us again to a crisis of fate. The one person who had not won the title this season, Kolei. I guess the one person who hadn't won the title at all, rather, Kolei and her team, Laser Focus. That being said, Makoto, could he do it another time for his team? Large and in charge and I'll Be Your Shield have not won the title solo, but I guess there's also a world where Makoto dies and Large and in charge and I'll Be Your Shield tie. Imagine that happens again. That would be perhaps poetry in motion. And if it does happen, it would have to happen this round. Will it? Oh my gosh. It almost did. It almost did. It is co-champions though. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my gosh. Dude. So I want to talk about this. Makoto gets killed, but replaced by a realistic doll made in his image, and it's not enough for me to notice. Boss, who works at Yoko's, is sick and tired of people from AV's Wares and Despairs burning it down, so she burns it down instead. Burns down AV's Wares and Despairs, rather. Unfortunately, this puts her on the squad's radar, who hunt down and kill Boss. This Makoto doll and Kizakura decide to challenge AV to a showdown to end the game on their own accord, and they survive. And they are declared the winners. I said there's a world where it could be co-champions between the two teams who had co-champions before, but instead Boss had the audacity to try and burn down AV's Wares and Despairs rather, and instead now, the co-champions are Kizakura and I'll be your shield again. This time with Team Makoto, as they can proudly stand tall and say that they are your winners and new co-champions. Call it luck or not, because Makoto died. This isn't Makoto, this is a doll made of Makoto. Not made of Makoto, and made in his image. It's so realistic that, hey, they weren't able to tell, but because of it, Team Makoto takes the win, but not alone. Because shielding that doll from a terrible fate and becoming co-champions again, they've made it one last time. He's done it for freaking Sayaka, he's done it for Dedu, and he's done it one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and co-champion, I'll Be Your Shield, and co-champions Makoto end off Season 17. What can I say? Like, what left is there to say? Let me keep it a buck with you. I don't know. But you know what I do know? This is crazy work. Congratulations to our co-champions to end the season. Team Makoto with Makoto, and I'll Be Your Shield with Kizakura. What a world we live in. What a world we've come to be in now. It is what it is. Boss had 7 KOs today, which is crazy. Kole had 4, Hiro had 3, Hutao had none. None, actually. Big Junko in 7th, Usami in 8th, Vivian 9th, and rounding off your top 10 was Silver Wolf, but our top 6 teams will be Team Makoto, I'll Be Your Shield, Large and in Charge, Laser Focus, Reading Rainbow, and Disappearing Act. As we take a slow scroll down to the very end, both of your champions out in the bloodbath. And it was a very bloody bloodbath and a very, fun game. I said tie and it appeared. We haven't had a tie in Orteal. I'm sorry, we had ties in Orteal recently. We haven't had a tie in Brandsteel in a minute. Mizuki starting this whole thing off with a knife to Chiaki's head, but it all ended with Makoto and Kizakura snatching the win together, challenging me to a showdown. Luckily, I'm not very good at Pokemon Showdown. Here, we had Team Makoto in first, as well as I'll Be Your Shield. Top 6 teams. So it's interesting they marked them both as first, but they don't mark the next one as third. Like they do in placements here, and like they do like in placements on the placement screen. I do think that, I don't know if that's an oversight though, that might just be an oversight. Anywho, Boss had 7 KOs, which is crazy. Mizuki had 2, Hiro had 2, everyone had 1 or less. Boss did all the killing this game. She was like, and you, and you, and you, and still at the very end was not able to get the job done. It was just close, and she burned down my store, and I had to get her for it. The squad had to get her. Squad down. You know who mailed an application to join the squad today? Was it Kizakura? I think it might have been Kizakura. I'm pretty sure it was Kizakura. And if it wasn't, he gonna do one anyway. Anywho, that's our game, and it was a fun one, and now we have our top 6 teams. The rest of them will have to earn a spot in the Agent of Chaos match during preseason. We will go back to the reaping. This was our show. Congratulations. Be sure to vote for your fan votes in the description below. Check them out right now. They'll be open through Sunday, late Sunday. I'll probably record it late that Sunday night, low-key. So make sure you get your votes in. But I guess that brings us to tonight. If you didn't know why we are not rushing through this episode, but want to make sure it's not like running for too long, it's because tonight is the 2-year anniversary of Fracture. And hey, let me talk to you. The general managers were in their office. They were like, we got to start planning things. We got to start planning AV Mania stuff. And we got to get through Scars and Stripes, which will be a big show. 2 weeks from this weekend, either Friday or Saturday, still undecided. It sounds like it might be Friday, though. Anywho, take a step back one more time and let me talk to you. First and foremost, they were in their office, and Yuri said, all right, I'm ready and willing to defend my championship at Scars and Stripe. And as they were discussing who would be her opponent, Hina walked in and said rematch. But you know who walked in after that? Rinka, who said, no, you don't get a rematch. Before I get a rematch. She beat you, but she's never beat me. Neo walked in as well and stared Rinka down as if they had a little history too. So Rinka just standing there with the two people who pinned her and somebody who's never pinned her before. But lo and behold, Panette also walking in saying, I have a win over Neo. And I'll tell you what, I've got a win over Yuri too in tag team action. Panette said, you've all lost for that title and I've never challenged for it. It's time for some new blood to get into this title picture. And so, at Scars and Stripes, there will be a fatal five-way, a gauntlet match, 5-person gauntlet match to see who will be the AEW champion rather. But tonight, it's a fatal 5-way match, and in that fatal 5-way match, the winner will go into that gauntlet match last, and the one who gets pinned will go in first. We got Father Dearest versus Mother Dearest tonight. We got 2 big tag team contenders matches, and it's gonna be great. We got March defending the championship, Fight Forever style. We got Makoto in an open challenge. We got so much on the card tonight, as well as your vote for the Fracture Run Back. What was your Fracture match of the year? That, ladies and gentlemen, is I think the most of the rundown for the show. We got a whole lot of action tonight. It's a 2-year anniversary. There might be some surprises. There might be some returns. Who knows? So stay tuned tonight. Until then, Toodaloo Flight Crew, thank you for watching.